Episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr-Magazine.
And we are laughing because we just scrambled to get here. We shot some really good videos today.
Good.
Really good
I
ones.
actually talked in one of them.
Well, that wasn't the good one. So salute. It's another Hump Day happy hour. Today we enjoy Thomas
Gasoline.
Scotch.
Yeah.
Not a fan, huh?
No,
Not
got
a
the chills.
fan.
Got the chills, and I got that little warm feeling like you were talking about in that
Last video.
yeah.
And want to give a shout out to good friend of the channel, Primetime Treasure Hunter, with his live show after ours. Check him out, as today he has an interview with the Whatnot marketing manager.
Oh, nice.
So I may want to check that one out over there because, of course, we're on Whatnot, and I'd like to see what's going on.
Why not? Why not? Yeah.
Why not Whatnot?
Yeah, exactly.
Find out what their their plans are and all that kind of thing. Should be kind of interesting.
Well, unprecedented. Popeyes is here on time. That might be the first time he's in the top 5 here.
That is
Good for
true.
you, Popeyes. Thank you.
And Popeye's a big veteran of Whatnot, as a matter of fact.
Wow. I wish I were.
You gonna say hi to anybody else?
I am. Well, I'm a little dizzy from that shot, but the lovely Lori, I'm glad to see you number one here. Michael, always at the top of the list. Puddings is up there, and Popeyes and puddings and peas and Amazon
A lot
seller.
of
And
postcards today.
good for everyone for showing up early. Appreciate it.
Definitely do appreciate that. We're gonna jump right on into.
What's the proof of that? I'm like a little off right now. I'm serious. I'm being serious. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Why don't you say hi to the other two people who
I
showed
want to
up?
say hi to Resell Studio, and I don't know what's up right now other than this shot. And
Michelle wants
Michelle,
a shot.
take a shot. If there's any gasoline or you can siphon it out of your car, you'll know what we're feeling right now. And Jack's Jules is in the house, and I was actually going to take a 5-hour energy shot because I'm a little tired today, dozing off in the bolos, but I don't think a shot and the 5-hour energy shot is good to mix, so we're going to...
Gonna wing it.
I'd rather be, I guess, sleepy.
Alive?
Sleepy,
Sleeping
yeah.
alive?
Sleepy then, yeah, exactly.
Than
Yep.
being rushed to the hospital. Although that is great content. If you
Yeah.
have a heart attack, do it on air.
Okay, I weigh twice as much as you, and I'm a lightweight, and you're not feeling this? Seriously.
But if you have a heart attack on air, we're gonna go viral.
Well, you will go viral, and I'll be dead, but okay. Who else is here? Jax Jules is in the house. How's it going? And Michelle is all over the place. She's right, though. Too expensive to drink gas right now. Especially in California.
That's a good point. That was funny.
In California.
Hey,
yeah,
I do the jokes here.
it's true. But in California, it's like $10 a gallon, so yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
Wow. That's a waste of good
Hold
gas.
on, I'm not done yet. We got Daniel's in the house, and Jim Lloyd is in the house as well. And the lovely Dawn is always in the top 10.
There you go.
All right. Hold on. Barbara Engro's in the house, and hello back to you. And local Joe Losey, who came in this week. I spent a little bit with him. How's it going?
Joe, I sent you an email. Answer me back, darn it.
What was it about? Private?
No, I'll tell you when I get to the buys
God,
portion.
I hate this secrecy. Go ahead.
I'm building suspense. Do you understand how
Yeah.
these programs work?
Yeah, it's like the Twilight Zone here. Yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
After the break. So how's everybody's sales doing out there?
Well, let's ask Tom Clooney, because he's next in line here.
There you go. How is everybody's sales? And I'm always interested, but I'm really interested this week to find out how everybody's sales are. Why don't you lead us off, Mr. Magazine?
If it weren't for me selling high-end stuff at a discount, I would really be saying putrid, like cubed right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
The rare putrid cubed.
that's tough to get. So anyways, Amazon's been pretty steady. I don't know about Amazon Seller 99, but it's been kind of steady. We're putting a lot of listings on Amazon. I got this one employee computer guy. I told you he made some computer program where he can list like 100 items an hour.
Macros, I believe he's using.
Whatever, you don't know. You're just guessing. Anyways, whatever it is, he's doing 500-600 items listings a day, as long as it's in Amazon's database. So, anyways, other than that, eBay is putrid. I'll keep saying it. Other than listing and selling expensive items.
Wait till I get a mouthful of water and say putrid.
But I'm selling high-end items, but at a discount just because I need to eat. I need to pay my people I borrow money from, the banks, the mortgage, and the employees. So other than that, take it away.
Well, we'll see how everybody else is doing, and I'll go into my
All
sales.
right, looks like Pudding's got some comment here.
Up 5% this month. Volume is way up, but average. Okay,
Wow.
and that leads into we'll see how
True.
everybody else
Yeah.
is doing, but then I want to go back to what Pudding says. See how everybody else is doing.
All right, Don. Yeah, Matt. You got
Mew? I think weren't they Mew last week?
Yeah, I think they were.
They were Mew last week also.
Putrid Mew. What's the difference?
Mew is better than putrid.
Yeah, is it really?
I
All
think
right.
so. Always slow on eBay, out of this roll and whatnot. Okay,
Wow, I
very
like to
good.
hear that. I can't wait till I get the balls to sell and whatnot. So, anyways, hold
the
on.
fortitude.
I'm gonna stop right there. So, I was scheduled for Thursday at 5:30 after Papergoy, but my kids' baseball coach decided to have a awards banquet at the same time, and I obviously have to do that. So I canceled it, and I'm scheduled for the next Thursday, which is the 16th after Papergoy at 5:30. I'll start putting pictures up. I got some good comic lots, and we'll see how it goes. All
Wow,
right,
look at that shameless plug.
you got that.
Shameless
All
plug.
right, Michelle's still in the house. Slow sales, but selling large, older. Yeah,
Older
got to
listeners,
do
yeah.
whatever it takes to get the money in. You know, we all have plenty of stuff to sell.
It's rough right now, but plugging
Going
along.
yeah, exactly. All right, okay. Don likes pudding. Okay, good for you. Popeye, Michelle, blah 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 blah. Next,
So from Lori.
resell studios in the house, and sales are good.
Wow,
Good for
all
you.
right, it's good
All
to
right.
hear. It's good
All
to
right.
hear.
Hopefully, you probably got some trending stuff. And Ron
Oh, hello, Ron.
contacted me about a guy out of state. And Ron, I appreciate it. I've just been so busy with other deals in the works. I'm putting some stuff aside right now, so
You will contact him.
I
when you
will
get an
contact him at some
opportunity.
point. I got
Yes.
2 big deals in the works. I've been distracted with those. I got a big one landing. I'm trying to land it tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. All right, Tom Clooney's in the house.
Sending out lower offers and higher price items
Yep,
to keep cash
yep,
flowing.
yep.
Yep.
Not too low. The 50%ers or less get banned, but that's just me.
Well,
and
he's sending them out, so yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm iron fist, but all
May
right.
was down over 20%. I think it's the item specifics filled out almost 5,000 listings in May.
Wow.
Ouch. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Well, before I tell you how sales are, my theory,
Mm-hmm.
I believe I mentioned that last week I was starting to fill out the item specifics, and I was at like 12,100.
I'm sweating from this shot, but go ahead.
So after 1 week, I'm at 11,960. So I am kicking butt
All
with
right, good,
150
yeah,
of them in a
yeah,
week. So you cannot argue with that whatsoever. These item specifics they'll be done. You know when they'll be done?
Never?
No, they'll get done.
Oh.
About the time eBay changes the item specifics completely
Oh, yeah.
again.
Hopefully they get rid of them in general, and we can get back to freaking basics.
eBay sales. Oh, thank you, Alan.
All right,
um,
and hold on.
Yep, no worries.
All right.
Oh, morning. Oh, morning has broken.
So you don't want to say the name either, so you said it wrong. Merity or Meriday?
Mm-hmm.
Merity?
I would. Benton.
All right. You got it. And
Oh.
the famous Jiminy Flippet's in the house. What's up, buddy?
How'd you do on Whatnot, Jiminy? Unless we're stealing your thunder from your own show, check him out Mondays. He's got a great show. So my eBay sales have truly been putrid until today.
Oh, that's
Today I
nice,
did
yeah.
very, very
All right.
well. I don't know why. I'm thinking it's because I picked up a bunch of stuff at a sale that I'm going to tell you about shortly, and I have over 200 items listed right now. I'm thinking that might be driving a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Amazon sales have stayed strong throughout. You know my theory for myself, how I handle Amazon. What do I list on Amazon?
Not much.
Well, not much, but what caliber of item do I list on Amazon?
Comic stuff?
Yeah, low value stuff.
Comics, magazines, yeah.
Yeah, $4, $6, $8 items.
Right.
Those are selling. Those are selling
Yeah.
as good as they have, all the way through. I've not noticed a dip. I've noticed a dip dollar-wise because I'm selling lower-priced items,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Amazon has stayed strong.
And we checked that my average ticket went down $5 on Amazon. And I think, I was thinking about this, and my sales are down on Amazon, but they're still pretty steady, considering I'm not buying sports card boxes anymore. I totally took that off the table where I was spending thousands a week, and I was making 10% on them. And then, really, was I making 10%? Some I was breaking even, some I was losing. So I think I'm better off having the money in my account to buy better deals with. So, but again, I got this one computer guy. I told you he made a computer program for Amazon. He's listing 400, 500, 600 items a day. So and they could be $7 to $12 and $15 items, but we're selling more. Like you said, $5 to $15
Right,
items.
and that
you know.
seems to be what's selling
Yeah,
right
you
now.
know, it adds up, and I'm fine with that.
But that seems to be what's selling right now, are
Yep.
lower priced items. Meanwhile, I'm not selling as much on eBay because I've increased my average ticket
Yeah,
to where, and I'm not taking low offers. I could be selling a lot of things on eBay
yeah,
if I were willing to take the 40% offers.
sure.
I could be selling
right.
a ton of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Ton of stuff,
If I
but
was
I'm
a
not willing
one-man
to do it.
band, I would take those offers because I don't have any expenses, but there are very few.
Right.
You know?
Oh, hello, Michael.
How's it going? All right, Thomas has a question.
What happens if you don't fill them out and check off do not? They just won't show up again for you to do. But the theory is that you will not get the traffic on the items. So some of them I look at and I just do that because there is nothing else that I really can fill in logically. Other ones I do try to fill it in, and they do pre-fill some of the stuff to you as well. And when it comes up on there, it's got like a blue check around it that tells you that they've pre-filled it. The only area that you have issues with, I'll give you a perfect example where you have an issue with. I'll list Time Magazine, June 8th, 1963, Chinese Revolution.
Yeah.
They pre-fill language Chinese. And then I'll say something, Chinese Revolution, Korea boat race. And then they'll say area of manufacturer, Korea. I'm like, no! So you got to uncheck those. So their bots still aren't real great on that kind of stuff. They still are filling in some of the things wrong. So you have to correct those. I guess you don't really have to. But until somebody buys it and says, you said it was Chinese language, you're like, I did? No, eBay said it was Chinese language.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. I really enjoyed Whatnot. 10 lots presented, 10 lots sold. Wow.
That's kind of like Papergoy. He sold 10 lots, except he presented
100
lots.
643.
Exactly.
But what the heck?
You know. But he was able to fill his gas tank without borrowing money this week. So good for you, buddy.
That's true. Of course, I filled it last week and didn't travel anywhere, so I had to put like 60 cents worth of stuff in. But
Exactly.
sold a postcard to museums. Yep, and I love making sales like that.
Very
That's
cool.
very, very good on that kind of stuff.
All right. I list some of it, like those church pamphlets and some brochures here and there. Some of that does sell if it's a little more common, but obscure stuff, I'm going to say no. Correct.
Yeah, I don't really sell much. I will sell some booklets that are in their database. I will sell some booklets and things like that. But generally speaking, no. I just try to sell common magazines.
Well, sheet music, if you consider that ephemera, that sells.
I do sell sheet music on there. Yeah. Yep, that I do sell on there.
You call it something different though. Not sheet. It's a 4-letter word with SH. I can't remember.
Show tunes. Oh my! I've been cutting all our low profit margin items as the market is changing.
Yeah. And, well, sadly for sports cards, the low profit margin is the high end items, pretty much from what I've been doing. So, yeah, I've been selling cheaper cards, $5 to $20 range, but you buy them for 10 cents on the dollar, so you make the profit there. At least for me.
Yeah. Average sale price is down 48%
Wow.
this month. Whoa! Quantity is up 70. I will be listing lots of $8 to $20 items.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I see what to do, and that kind of ties into our main topic today. Not that we're going to go into it soon, but is it time to go into survival mode? That's survival mode right there, listing that kind of thing. I don't know, though. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because I had an entire store like that 5 years ago, and I wasn't happy with it. I'm not happy selling the items for $8 to $12.
In my opinion, you're better off, like you, instead of selling $8 items, just put your old items on sale or a higher sale. So you're better off moving the $15 items for $8 and continue selling $20 to $30 to $50 items. That's my opinion only. But
Yeah, if you're letting them hide those listings. Yeah, that's a fear definitely on that. Definitely is. Preview could be good, but having to double check. Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. You do have to check it because, again, at least they kind of had that blue check. It's a blue check mark. That's what it is. And so at least you have a blue check mark to tell you they're suggesting this, and then you can change it. But it is a pain in the butt sometimes.
all right, absolutely. I got to dig some out, but every time I find some, I'll put them in a pile, and then we'll talk in 6 months, and give me your address, and I'll just send it out to you, no charge.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I'd rather give it to you for free than Papergoy.
I was going to say, you promised it to me. What the heck?
Exactly. Oh, you got enough. There's like
That's true.
4 boxes back here. You never.
We're going to talk about our buys in a moment, but I wanted to tell you I sold one item on Etsy.
Nice. You're
And-
plugging away.
I sold, I'm going to call it 1.5 items on $1,000,000 Peddlers.
Always a catch.
I sold an item today,
Mm-hmm.
and I sold an item earlier this week, but it was the comic that I had sold to the guy that I had shipped out to the wrong person.
Oh, that's
He
3
rebought
weeks
it.
later, we're still talking about this
He
ordeal.
rebought it, so it
Yep.
counts as half a sale.
Oh, well, you know what? I sold a magazine for $20, and I had to give a 50% refund because it wasn't complete. So I guess I sold a half an item also.
Always trying to one-up me, aren't you? How about buys? Anybody out there buy anything? How about you, Mr. Magazine?
I'm just going to talk about this one. This is really up my alley, and hopefully I scored. I've been there twice to look at it. Local people, like 5 minutes from my shop. The husband was a big sports card collector. He loved the Dodgers, Sandy Koufax, Mike Piazza, extensive sports card collection, autographs. But the diamond in the rough, the largest collection I've ever seen or heard of Playboy signatures. The cards out of the packs, the postcards, centerfolds, magazines, photos, anything, thousands, and I'm seriously thousands of autographed Playboy Playmates. So I itemize everything. We're going to talk tomorrow. Hopefully I can purchase it, and we'll see what happens.
You know what I actually would like? I'm going to say right here on air, so now you're stuck to give it to me.
Okay.
An autograph of Hugh Hefner, if he has any of those.
So I was doing some research, and I seen some. I don't know if they. I'm assuming they have some. They got to have some.
But I don't want a card. I would rather have a cut than a card, as crazy as that
Right.
sounds.
Yeah, I know. I agree, but I don't think they have a cut. But you know, it might be a magazine, a book. Who knows? But
Maybe
we'll
a
see.
centerfold of Hugh Hefner signed.
You would like that, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Very rare.
Of course. Yeah.
So
All
we're
right,
on.
we'll see how it goes. Cross my fingers. I think I'm going to have to step up to the plate and pay a lot of money, but I think it's a good deal up my alley. And it's not going to take up a lot of room either, for the most part.
So Don's making whatnot
Wow,
purchases.
good for you. Well, there will be more purchases that you can make on the 16th of this month at 5:30 if you're into comics.
Or
Good comic lots, like ones that actually sell and people want.
Or if you want not good comic lots, the 9th at 4 p.m. and the 16th at 4 p.m. Papergoy will be having it.
Yeah.
Do follow me on whatnot. I will follow back. So I ended up going to Madison, and probably was not worth the trip. Spoiler alert: there will be a video up on Monday. If Random Neighborhood Kid, he's all like would rather be like worried about his finals and graduating and all
Oh,
that
please.
stuff.
Give me
Priorities.
grace.
Jeez.
You're only worried if you have a chance of failing them.
Yeah, they pass everybody along. Jeez Louise.
They don't want him back. Seriously.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. You finally said something funny, and it only took 2.5 years. But so we will have a video up on that. It was not worth the trip, but I'm glad that I made the trip. It
Who'd
was
you go
fun.
with?
Myself.
Oh, good
me,
for you.
me, myself, and I.
All right, good.
Me, myself, and Irene. Then I did go to the flea market on Sunday and did very, very well there.
Really?
Did very well there. And I've got a haul video coming out on that. It'll be the following Monday. But in between was probably the best deal I had. So I looked in the estatesale.net, and there was an estate sale over in Greece. And I said, oh, they got a lot of books pictured, older books, so I'm going to go to that. So I went to the sale, second day of the sale, Saturday, open at 9 o'clock. Go there at 9:45.
Yep.
Line out the door. I said, I don't do lines. I just don't do lines. I was
Tony Montana does lines.
Yeah, I'm sure that you say hello to my little friend. So I was with Mrs. Papergoy and Random Neighborhood Kid. I said, we'll go to breakfast. We'll come back to the sale. Went to breakfast, came back to the sale around 11 o'clock, was able to stroll on in. Books were $1. I ended up buying a bunch of books, things like that. Came home, said to Mrs. Papergoy, you want to go out for a beer and lunch at a tavern up over on Titus Avenue? We'll sit outside of a beer. She goes, oh, I'd like that. I said, good. Go with me to an estate sale first. We're going to go back to that estate sale. I ended up spending $109 at the estate sale.
Oh.
2 trips, but then 2 trips the second time there. $1 a book. Found a $140 book from 1811.
Wow, nice.
Just listed an 1869 book that was $125 bucks this morning. Threw something in my collection. I did not know this. Do you know when Take Me Out to the Ball Game? Do you know when that was written?
1912.
Close, 1908.
All right.
I got a piece of sheet
Well, it's
music.
a leap year, so that's why I think by
Yeah,
4 years.
A lot of people make that
it
mistake.
makes
A lot
sense
of people
now.
do.
Yeah.
It was written in 1908. I got a piece of 1908 sheet music with the person, and I don't remember her name, that the song was written for as an inset on it. I cannot find that sheet music. I can find other sheet music from 1908 for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but not that one.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a $100 item.
Oh, sure.
And I picked it up for free, basically.
That's local Joe. He might know what it's. He probably has one.
The other thing so it was a great sale, but the other thing that I asked Joe about was I picked up for a quarter at the flea market Rochester Tigers 1937 program from the American Football League.
Wow.
Can find nothing about it. Can find none of them out there. It's got to be a $150 item, something like that.
No, you found a quarter on the floor too that day, so you probably
so I broke even.
You got it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't argue with that.
So the buys are out there. It's absolutely insane, the buys that are out there. So you just got to keep hustling. You just have to.
I'm getting calls daily. I can't even, I'm turning stuff down sadly right now. It's just getting ridiculous. All right.
Crazy on that there. Yep.
Congrats
Another
on the
out
print
there.
ad sale. Putting postcards. All right. Michelle's doing some whatnots.
Oh, nice.
All
It
right,
felt like it was terrible. $89 in an hour.
Yeah, you're right in Papergoy's range there. That must be the norm.
Oh, jeez.
Brian's in the house.
Hello, Brian.
Let's see. Oh, Pudding's got he went to flea market. Best find was a stuffed potato with chili for lunch. Yeah.
Oh.
Nice. Can't argue with that, though.
Now I'm
That's a true
jealous.
find, yeah.
Maybe I'll trade him a 1937 Rochester Tigers program for a.
Yeah.
Gladly. Yep. That's
I thought you were going to say a Glad bag. Glad Ziploc bag.
I'll gladly give you a 1937 program Tuesday for a hamburger today.
All right. If anyone knows
Mermaid
Michelle's
Treasures. There you
Mermaid
go.
Treasures, there you go on Whatnot. All right.
There you go.
And I'm Mr-Magazine, in case anyone's wondering.
And I'm Papergoy, not that darn Papergoy one. So, time for
The real Papergoy. Not that imposter. What's the imposter's name again?
Papergoy one.
Jerk.
Time for Glitch of the Week. Now, I did read on e-commerce bites, a lot of people were saying that shipping labels were down. I wouldn't know. I'm not selling anything, so that did not affect me.
I haven't heard that, at least not for me.
Also, another problem was the other afternoon, I think it was Monday afternoon, people were having trouble purchasing things. Obviously, everybody was having a lot of trouble purchasing my items.
Yeah.
Definitely had been an issue there. Then I went on Facebook, and the groups came up in totally different order and all that, so that was a glitch. But the Glitch of the Week winner this week is Whatnot. But not exactly Whatnot. Some idiot that had an auction on Whatnot set his phone up in his holder to do the show, not realizing that, and it's crazy because this idiot has a new Pixel 6 where in order to turn, this idiot had to Google how to turn the phone off, and it turns out you don't push the power button to turn it off. You push the power button and the volume down button to turn off the phone.
Right.
So he put it in his holder to shoot the show, started the show, and guess what? Buttons got pushed by the holder.
Did it shut off the phone
Shut
button?
the phone off right as the auction started.
I wish I was in for that one. That would have been awesome. Was Random Neighborhood Kid here?
No,
Oh, man, he must have
I
been
didn't
sweating
say it
bullets.
was me that was doing it.
Someone must have been sweating bullets. I'm worried about getting service in this place.
Oh.
My phone does not get service.
18 months after.
What the heck?
Item not received.
That's
wow.
crazy. That's really crazy.
Well, I know, Popeyes, you've mentioned too, you were showing on there, and we had the same glitch come up where things were showing up as not shipped. You had the same glitch over here. Things were showing up as not glitched months afterwards, having multiple orders. Wow. So the postcard and hip, part of the title was translated during the sync from English into Spanish. Oh, good luck finding that one. Good luck finding that one. I did want to give a shout out, a positive thing to eBay, because we're a positive show.
Wow. You sold your first item of the week.
Yeah, my sale of the week.
Thanks, eBay.
My sale of the week, the one item. eBay did change the, on the new listing tool, they did change the item specifics. It's still 2 clicks, because when you click on it once, it brings you into the item specifics and resets. But now you can make all the changes off the first screen instead of having to go into multiple screens. So that is definitely a step in the right direction. It's a lot faster than it had
Yeah.
been. So
Good.
good job, eBay. And I complained about that over multiple shows. They finally listened to me. Thank you for listening to me. Give me the check in the mail. I'll be on your payroll. I put my phone in my new phone holder and apparently set off the emergency notification. Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow.
That beats my glitch. That beats my glitch. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not going to have any buys this weekend. It's going to be a buy-free weekend. For only the second time in my career with the state, I will be working overtime. On Saturday, I will be a proctor at a state civil service exam. Why did I sign up for this? Everybody's asking. Everybody but you is.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody. Why did you sign up for it? The reason why I signed up for it is because I am 92 weeks, 2 days away from retirement, and figuring my pension out, it will add.
Wait, how many days?
How many days? 400 and I don't know, 92 weeks, 2 days,
All right.
462 days.
A little under 2 years. All right.
Yeah. But it will add $12 a month to my pension or some crazy
dear.
number like that.
Footings knows that.
Pad that retirement. There you go.
That's right.
It will add to my retirement. So I'm like, awesome. I'm going to proctor the exam. I'll go there. I'll bring a book. No cell phones. No electronic devices. No books. I have to go there early, of course, to help set it up, and I'm going to be there late collecting and handing things in. So I think it's going to be 6 to 7 hours of work. 4 hours I get to watch people take an exam. And and I'm not allowed to look through the exam book to pass the time to see.
Yeah.
So literally for 4 hours, this is going to be
Ethan
Papergoy.
from.
This is going to be me, Papergoy, on Saturday.
That's not a good thing to look at. Yeah.
So I will have earned that $12 every single month over the rest of my life. Trust me. Had I known, I probably would not have signed up for it, to be quite honest with you. Because I could probably make more than $12 a month off stuff that I listed.
I won't be buying either. I'll be away for the weekend at a baseball
There you
tournament.
go.
So, yeah.
Head over to Insulting Offer of the Week.
Ooh, yours or mine?
This is yours. It's a repeat.
Oh, all right.
Apparently, last week when we told you about the gentleman that offered 1.26 pounds on the Beats headphones, and Mr. Magazine just ignored it, apparently he was worried that Mr. Magazine must have missed the offer.
Someone was supposed to ban this person. So.
Someone never got an email telling them to
Really?
ban this
All right.
person. It just simply was the offer
Well,
with
it
no
should be like
comments.
it should be a given at this point, but go ahead.
Anywho, we're like an old married couple, by the way.
Okay.
This person remade the offer of 1.26 pounds just in case you missed it the first time.
Busy guy, can't catch it all. You never know.
So it's our first ever duplicate insulting offer of the week. Mark this down. It's pretty amazing. And
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
I
finally ban him yet, or do you want to see if he comes
I
back?
want to see if he
again?
comes back a third
Yeah,
time.
let's see. Yeah, why not?
Maybe he'll raise his offer to 1.28
How many offers
pounds.
do you get to
he
make?
gets 5.
5. Oh, good. We could do
You
this
can be
for-
back for 4
We can do
3
this
more
for
weeks.
another month.
My secret to keep sales solid: need to massage the eBay algorithm any way you can. I do it by shipping very quickly all items and ship super carefully.
Nice.
Yeah, no, you definitely do need eBay on your side. That's really what eBay on your side. I feel like a local news station there. Why don't you talk for about 30 seconds? Or about 10 seconds. I gotta go grab something over here.
10, 9,
Okay, that was
8,
easy. All right.
7.
So I
6.
bought this. All right, you can stop talking. So I bought this on Heritage. I don't want you. It doesn't matter what it is.
I don't know what it is.
It doesn't matter what it is.
All right.
To ship this and another item slightly smaller than this. Now,
Okay.
Heritage does not use Priority. Heritage does use UPS.
Okay.
Heritage is in Texas. What do you think? And again, for everybody, this size,
Got a little weight to it. I mean,
probably a pound
with,
and a half.
with another item, I would say a pound, maybe a pound and a half
Yeah.
at the most.
What would this cost to ship from Texas, from us to Texas? Because it's the same bag. UPS, yeah.
$8.
And they've got insurance, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera.
$10.
Oh, we just got really blurry there for a second, or that shot just kicked in.
Yeah, I was going to say the shop. Go ahead. So yeah, $8 to $10. It should
So
cost.
I didn't bother looking. I just pay my bills. Finally, I looked back on it.
Hold on. Is Pudding's guessing how much it cost?
$120
To ship it?
to ship this and another item this size in the same box.
Why?
I emailed Heritage and I
Yeah.
said, and I hate people that complain about shipping because we get that all the time. But I said, at most, this should cost $20 to ship. You
Right.
charged me $120. Is
No.
there any way you could look into it? And
Yeah.
it wasn't insured for
Right.
$1,000 or anything.
Now, you've had big pictures shipped to you, artwork and stuff, and what do they charge on that?
40, $50. Yeah. So the gentleman got back to me about 3 days later.
They use a diesel truck to deliver it?
I think he rode his bike up here and had to charge his hours. Well, here's the thing. I get an email from Heritage. There was a mistake in the shipping in your last order.
Mm-hmm.
You owe $15.83.
Wow.
I said, maybe I should keep my mouth shut.
And that's the last order?
Yeah.
Wow.
I said, maybe I should keep my mouth
Yeah.
shut. How did they just raise
Did they
the
overnight
shipping?
it? If they overnighted it, maybe?
No.
Wow.
Then I get an email from the guy. We have taken care of it for you. So they charged me $15.83 and
they
credited me
refunded. That
$120,
makes sense.
$119.
There you go.
But had I not said anything, he goes, "Oh, the shipping was showing up as TBD, to be determined." I'm like, "No, it said $119 on my invoice. There was no
They determine
TBD
size,
on
weight,
it."
location. There's nothing to determine. I mean, jeez.
So, but that tells you do keep tabs on it, because had I not paid attention,
Yeah.
I would have paid $120 to get a $15 thing shipped to me. That's kind of crazy on that over there. You had one customer issue. You had probably more than that, but you had one customer during this last week, and that was the person that purchased 4 Jet magazines from you,
Oh, yes, they wanted a shipping discount.
which is fair.
And I told them multiple times because they were worried they had to pay, like in their card, it must have said they had to pay $40, $30, whatever. I said, no, make the offers. And I said this twice to them. Do not pay for the items. Make the offers. I will accept them. Combine the shipping, and you'll be good to go. Well, they bought 4 of them separately and paid for 4 of them separately and then wanted a shipping refund.
And all throughout the day they paid for them too. It wasn't like they paid
right.
for
They
one
weren't-
after
They weren't
another.
near each other. Yeah, it was like one hour, one the next time. And it's just, I think they paid for one at every meal and a midnight snack. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was not fun. And I give you that.
We
crap
gave them
to
a
deal
little
with,
bit of
yeah.
a credit back just to be nice, but
Yeah.
oh, welcome.
Yes, Outer Rim. How's it going?
Couple of other quick little things. I want to thank Don the Enforcer, who appears not to have shown up. When you watch it on the replay, I did thank you. He did reach out to Mr. Magazine and gave him a bunch of tips on my whatnot on how to change it up, make it better. I'm going to implement some of them. I will not implement all of them, but I will
Was
implement
one
some
a
of them.
voice modulator?
Yes, I'm gonna try to see if I can't blur my,
Actually, if I could do a Darth Vader or Stormtrooper one, that would be kind of cool, right?
well, I'm gonna try to blur my face and sound like one of those people in like 48 hours.
Yeah.
That kind of
You're on
voice.
the run, witness
Exactly.
protection, with SAC, yeah, of course, yeah.
I think it'll be my thing on there. But he did mention some things. I'm gonna use some of it. I'm not gonna use all of it. I will
Okay.
tell you right off the bat. But I do definitely thank you for reaching out and telling me about it. And another person commented that they like my rapport, which I do appreciate as well. One thing that I found interesting about Whatnot is I got a message from somebody, but I couldn't access it on the phone. Then I did a little more research into it. You can only access messages on the computer,
What? That's
which
so
is weird for
They don't
being
even
an,
want you to use the computer at
for
all.
being an app type
Yeah.
deal. It was really, really weird because how do I get to this message? How do
Yeah.
I? So I Googled it and it said,
Wow.
you got to go on the computer to get it.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
boy, they're all over the place on this
Yeah.
kind of a thing. But definitely thank you for the support. Do appreciate it. We're building a little following over there, having some fun over there. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do. It's
I
gonna
like,
be
I like sitting in and watching. It's fun to watch Paperboy.
yeah. Watch all the flop sweat going when I'm on lot 18. I don't have any bids yet. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful one. So stop on by to watch my flop sweat drip onto the comics. It's a lot of fun.
And my lots will all be $5, including the Thundercats #1 comic in high grade. Thank you.
Wow.
What? Hey, I'm getting even. I haven't done this in years.
That's true. That is true. One interesting thing I noticed about item specifics. So I was doing item specifics on magazines, some quarterly magazines. And what are the 4 seasons? Not the band. What are the 4 seasons?
Winter, spring, summer, fall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know that eBay does not recognize fall? It's autumn.
Autumn. Okay.
It's autumn, and if you type in, fall 1998, whatever thing,
Yeah.
it does not pre-fill the specific as autumn. And here's the funny thing about it. I had a fall catalog. It gave me 3 suggestions for what season to use. Spring, summer, and winter.
Winter.
I said, it's fall. You don't even pick the one out that it is.
Yeah.
I said, exactly. Who is programming these computers? Kind of crazy, but do check that out. And then another item specific, it was over in the team name under other sports. So when you go into other sports area in the vintage sports, listings.
I don't know what you're talking about because I don't list, but I'll tell my employees that.
100, it tells you how many searches were on things. So sometimes they'll say, 2,750 searches on this.
Right.
On a month might have, 150,000 searches. This one item specific, they were asking me to fill in 122 searches.
Wow.
They want me to fill something in that has had 122 people searching on it. They
waste.
want me to waste my time for something that 122 people in the last month, I'm expecting, have even searched on. Oh, that's a good use of my time. Flop sweat. There you go.
Yep, AJ, I got the blues today. Yep. But my black and blues are matching, so.
Nice.
That could be in a Smurfs commercial or something, maybe.
Oh, and another quick item specific they have there under advertising utilities. I'm going to ask you what the difference is because I'm going to ask everybody out there what the difference is because I'll be honest, I do not know. So if you go under collectibles advertising utilities, there are 2 different. There are about 4 item specifics that come up that you can fill in. 2 of them are. One of them is date of creation, and one of them is date of origin.
To me, they sound like they're the same.
I'm thinking it was created the day that it originated.
Yeah.
I'm got this feeling. Yet they've got 2 specific ones in there for you to fill in. And I want to know who's searching down on date of origin and it says, now let me further mine down using date of creation.
Yeah.
And these are all item specifics that they have spent time programming in there for us to use.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
don't understand it.
Yep. All right, Lewis,
Hello,
how's it
Lewis.
going?
So yeah, it's kind of interesting there with the item specifics. Looks like a couple other people
All
there.
right.
Versus the copyright of the image versus when it was made.
That's a little too deep. I mean, maybe. There's a lot of thought going into that one.
Maybe. But then my question is, does date of creation? Yeah, maybe. Except it's advertising utilities. So I could see that for photos. I might see that for photos. If
Yeah.
you got a photo from 1920 that you got a 1950 reprint of, like, okay, that I might be able to see. But advertising utilities, I don't know. I really don't know. Hey, if anybody out there from eBay is watching and wants to come on and get grilled about item specifics, we're the people to grill you. We're the top grilling show out there because I'm really curious about some of these over here. Translated copyrighted works? Yeah, I don't know. Again, it was communications. It was under the utilities advertising, so I don't really know. Like I say, when Mickey Mouse formed the 80s versus when he was created.
Okay, I'm going to click on the biggest question, and I think this is the most important one we don't have an answer to.
That is actually a really good question.
The shot. Blame it on the shot.
I'll blame it on the rain. That's a very good question, Joe.
He
I think it's
ran
'cause-
out of ties. They're all in the wash. What do we got going on here?
I think we were running around before the show, and it just slipped my mind, to be quite honest with you. They have cabinet cards and CDV, but do not have photograph. Yeah, I'm not going to say this. They need to tweak it, but I'm not saying that because I'm down to only 11,960. So I don't want them to tweak it because I'll be back up over 12,000 again. So do not tweak it. Someone who actually was able to fill in all the item specifics eBay asked. Might be a rumor. No, I heard about that same person too. They had 2 listings and it took them all month.
Oh, God.
So I don't know if that's true or not. Boy, Joe threw me totally off my game by pointing out I'm not wearing. Tell you what, I'll wear a tie on the whatnot. 4 o'clock Thursday. There you go. Wow. I think you can fill in the specifics with nonsense and they don't care. Hello, Winter Crow. Welcome aboard. Yeah, you're probably right. Heck, we fill in our show with nonsense and nobody cares.
True.
Michelle
see,
said something
Michelle.
over here. Yeah, Michelle. Thomas is so crazy. I wish they would add photos to standard envelope shipping. Yeah, that would be
nice, yeah.
a little nicer on that. Although we did do a video about standard envelope and all the problems we've had with it. Alrighty, I think that's all of the...
Limited 983 specifics needed. That's pretty good.
Wow, I'll trade places with you. What are you at?
I don't even check. It's got to be 100,000. I mean, it's a crazy amount.
It has to be, yeah, it definitely has to be with that over there. No doubt at all about it. What I just can't find. Yeah, and that is a problem that we're finding as well. I think it's a site that it's a very good idea. There's no doubt at all it's a very good idea. I think in a lot of ways it's still the wild, wild west. Again, I'm in Primetime's got a whatnot group. If you are a reseller, definitely do check it out. I believe you have to get admitted for membership. I believe it's a closed group, but I think it's called Whatnot for Resellers. I've noticed that a lot of the comments have turned negative from sellers that they're not doing particularly well in general, and they're also complaining about kind of the wild, wild west aspect of it out there. A lot of people do giveaways, but they're requiring purchases, which you're not allowed to do. And there's all kinds of, basically, people are doing shenanigans with the postage. They're putting in the first item of postage as being very, very light. So then you don't pay enough in postage, so you'll buy more stuff. But somebody's paying for it, whether they, Whatnot's paying for it, one way or the other. So whether they're going to end up coming back on the sellers or not, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people out there that aren't doing things the right way, and it's giving the site a bad name in some people's eyes. A lot of people were complaining they bought things that what they received were not up to the grade that they thought, or they had very obvious deficiencies that were not pointed out. Almost like me having a record album with heavy paper damage in the back and I only show the front, that kind of deal. That people are just misleading. And I don't like to hear that because, again, I try to run a good auction out over there. And, hopefully, and I know everybody here does as well. But people like that, all it takes is buyers to get a couple of negative experiences and they won't want to come back to the site, unfortunately. Somebody else was saying that there's some...
or if it's difficult to navigate as well or find. Like, I had trouble finding you, so...
Yeah. Wow, $29,171. He refuses to fill them in. Complete waste of time.
I don't do it either. Yeah, I don't pay my guys to do it.
And another thing was one of the people on the Whatnot for Resellers was saying that there are sellers out there that like berate the feed, like yelling at them and everything like that. And I commented on it. I said, look, if Don Rickles made a very good living, if that's your shtick and your feed is in on it, that's one thing. But if you're just yelling at people, come on, you cheapskates, you got a bid, and just being rude, you're not helping anybody whatsoever. And again, if everybody's in on the shtick, it's a whole different story. But from the sounds of it, people were not in on it, so they were getting offended by it and all that kind of thing. So that doesn't help anybody whatsoever. There you go. But the
Thomas has a question.
Sure.
You're the Whatnot expert.
Yes, you do. Yep. What'll happen on the selling end is it'll say Thomas Gardner has purchased this item, payment successful. It'll come through immediately on that.
So if a guy is buying 5 lots in a row, he's going to pay for each one as you do them?
They have a credit card or whatever on file, and it works its way right through.
Seems distracting because if you're getting into it, like I want to bid on this, and you only have 30 seconds or something, that like you got to worry about paying.
Well, no, it's on file, so it just automatically goes through. It automatically goes through. Yep. And it shows up immediately on our end for the payment. And I've not had a chance. I will do the Facebook auctions. I do have the 30 items all cataloged, have them all written up on a little spreadsheet. Craig was busy part of the week. I was busy part of the week. I will reach out to him at some point or other, and I will schedule that. I'm looking at probably Juneteenth, which will actually be the 20th because the holiday is the 20th this year. Probably be my first one there, but I gotta check in with Craig and make sure it's all okay. Do check out Vintage Syndicate and Ephemera over on Facebook. It's a private group, but he will just say Papergoy sent you, and he'll be good to you. Good guy. Anybody know how to find UPC on DVDs that don't list the ISBN? Yeah, that actually is another problem that people were saying. That is a known problem. People are complaining about over on e-commerce bites. Look at me giving everybody plugs.
A wealth of knowledge.
I'm giving everybody plugs over here. Maybe if I spent less time searching out all these other things and more time actually listing good items.
Yeah, we're talking about the main topic too. But hey, what do I know?
What do you want to schedule?
Well, yes, you said it when it's 40 minutes after you're going to say it. You've been pretty good till today. But who's counting?
Wow. So we'll head on into the main topic because I just realized it was time for it. Is it time to get into survival mode? eBay sales are, for most people, not good. They haven't been overly good for the last month and a half or so, I would say. Probably since about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Sales have been lower. There's a lot of uncertainty out there going on from... I just filled up today, $4.99.9, so I paid under $5, so I'm one of the lucky ones out there.
Yeah. Well, I hate that the pump stops at $100. I got my truck. I put in like the 89 or 87, 89, whatever, middle of the road there, and it stops at 100. So I'm at like 3/4 of a tank. I can't even fill up my tank.
I don't know that. I have a small tank, so I would not know that. But that's a personal issue. There's a lot of uncertainty out there as far as things go. So, what do you feel about survival mode? Should we be getting into it, and what does that mean to you?
I'm not there yet, but I think if I just had eBay and no other platform, I would be heavily thinking about survival mode. Luckily, I got Amazon. The website's doing well. DVD Marketplace doing well. So, everything else is doing well. Well enough, let's just say. Well enough to get through this time. And again, eBay, I'm putting the higher end items on there and I'm taking lower offers, but still making money. We're making ends meet. We're getting through it. I'm able to buy some of these collections that come through. So, I don't think I'm going to call it adjustment mode, but not survival mode yet.
Well, I think the hardest thing in general about everything, and I think all of us share this, is the uncertainty in that we don't know where it's going to end up at.
Right.
Is this just a downturn because it's heading into summer and sales are a little bit slower and people are doing a lot of other things and gas prices are high, and if you want to go on a vacation, as we mentioned last week, prices are really, really high. And is it going to turn around in October? Or are we going to be sitting here a year from now on our live show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday nights, and saying sales are still terrible. They're still in the tank. I don't know, So I think that gives cause for concern that we don't have any idea at all where it ends up. In other words, if this were a typical year and we would sit there and say, yeah, it's going to pick up again in October, I know that.
Yeah. You got to weather the storm for 4 months.
We should
all be able to do that.
Yeah, we can do it. But what if it isn't 4 months?
Yeah, I have some commitments. I borrowed some money for some big deals payable in December. So if I don't have a big Christmas, yeah.
Jiminy, I think that way too, but that's what everybody with small tanks thinks. Just makes us be able to sleep at night. But that's where the problem comes in. So what does survival mode mean to you? Oh, there we go. My survival is to convince myself that I'm listing for fourth quarter Christmas. There you go. That's a mind game, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I guess if it's really putrid, if everything's putrid for a long period of time, I might have to let a couple employees go for my survival mode.
Okay.
My 20 to 30% sales, percentage off, I might have to make them 30 to 40% sales on certain categories. Obviously, the high-end categories, I only do 10% off, but the common categories, I may have to bump up the percentage of sales I'm doing. Take lower offers. Money has to come in because guess what? The mortgage payment for the warehouse is not stopping, and my employees still have to get their paychecks.
Or the other side of that, there's two sides of the equation.
Okay.
You can cut down on the money going out, which means on the collections.
I'll be forced to. Right now, I'm buying 50% of the bigger collections coming through. I'm just sizing them, hey, what's a good deal? What's good for me? what is more work that I don't need, more space that I don't need. So those I'm cutting out on right now. So, so I'm 50-50 with the sales, but it might be a point, like you said, if my sales keep dipping or stay where they are, I may have to say during Thanksgiving, Christmas, hey, I can't buy anything at all. I have enough stuff. We got enough stuff for 2 years, so that's my survival mode. No buying for 2 years. If that's what it means, who knows? We will see.
And my survival mode is a little different just because of where I'm at. I've got 92 weeks, 2 days of the day job. I'm not under any sort of mandatory retirement. Not that I want to do it 1 minute more than I need to do it.
Right.
But that being said, let's say that for some reason or other eBay absolutely tanked, reselling absolutely tanked.
Right.
I'm not required to leave the day job.
Right.
So I do have that as a backup. Not one that I would want, or with my auditing skills, I could leave the day job in 92 weeks, 2 days, and I could get a 1099 job with a third party and continue to do what I'm doing now, collect my state pension, and continue to work, be out in the workforce making decent money as a 1099 employee if I wanted to do that way. So I don't have to rely on it, but that's not what I want to do.
Right.
I'm so amped to over the weekend I listed a lot of items. I picked up a lot of things at the sales. I listed a lot of items. I was so happy. I loved doing it. Absolutely loved doing it. I was like, this is what I want to do. But if the sales aren't coming off of it, it does get discouraging as well, because here you are listing these things and nothing is selling.
Right.
And then you're sitting there saying, I know I didn't make a mistake in my buys.
Right.
The one book I bought at the sale, I paid $1 for it. It was a How to Learn Spanish English book from 1811.
Yeah.
I will pay $1 for that no matter what's going on. It's an 1811 book. There are not a lot of them out there.
Sure.
And I know when I'm listing, it's a long tail item. I'm not going to list that book and it's not going to sell in 20 minutes. I understand that, but how do you not buy that for $1? If you might not, because you aren't going to look for it. You're not going to pick it up. But if you're into buying the stuff the way that I buy stuff, I'm going to buy an 1811 book in decent shape every day, as many of them as you can bring to me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. I really believe it's the high cost of everything. Gas, food. Some people are finding it so expensive just drive to work.
Yeah. Housing, rental property. I mean, apartments. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh! Have you looked at apartments?
I'm trying to get 2,000, 2,500.
Oh well, everything is unless you want to go down deep into the middle of neighborhoods that you don't want to go deep into the middle.
Yeah.
You're talking over $1,000 for anything.
Yeah.
Anything's $1,000 up in Rochester. Whereas my first apartment, granted this was in 1853, but my first apartment was $350. Now that apartment's probably, it's not the best neighborhood, but it's probably got to be $850 anyway over there.
For sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So things are insane priced right now. Still an extra income for me, so it didn't hurt that I only grossed $1,000 a May. Yeah, exactly. And that's the point that I'm in. The only problem with that, John Doe, if that is your real name, is that I've been having it as my second income for so long that I kind of rely on it, if you know what I mean. In other words, and it's a fault of mine and many other people's, that as more money comes in,
you get used to
you
that
spend
income,
more money.
Right. But you get used to having that, for sure.
Yeah, and if I had to just live off the day job, I could do it.
Yeah.
But I would be miserable, and I'd like to be able to take Mrs. Papergoy and go out to have a beer on a Saturday afternoon.
Right. Well, it's like my one employee, I told you, he works 2 jobs. He's working for one big company full-time, and he's working for me almost full-time. And it's like I worry about losing him, but now I'm thinking about the money he's making. That's, if he just quit, that's a lot you're losing. Like, that's like taking a 25% pay cut if you think about the 2 jobs. So hopefully he'll be with us for a while longer.
That's a good question, Puddings, about the algorithm. But my question is, and I don't know how to phrase this question, but eBay, you, Mr. Magazine, have sales needs. You have to sell a certain amount.
Sure.
Logically, eBay has to sell a certain amount every day. They get their fees off of it. everything like that.
Yeah.
So they have to sell, and I have no idea. I'm not going to run the math on it, but they have to sell $10 million a day worth of inventory or whatever it is.
Right.
That's what they have to sell. If they're suddenly changing the algorithm and they're only selling $3 million a day, they're going to have problems.
It hurts them as well.
It hurts them as well. So then the question is, are they, and I'm completely making the numbers up, but are they still selling the $10 million a day that they need? Or are they at $6 million a dollars? Or is it just they're at 10 million, they just switched out of the categories with all the thing? And if so, how are they heavily promoting certain other categories? I don't know. But it makes sense that they would have expectations and needs of sales as well. It's not like
You
they
would
can
think so, right?
It's not like they can flip the algorithm and go from $10 million of sales in one day to $48 a day because they switched the algorithm and nobody's making sales. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
But like I said before, we're putting less listers on eBay and more on Amazon. So with my eBay sale, my listings going down, maybe that's partly the reason my visibility's down. I don't know. Sales are down.
Those,
You never know.
But the question, thank you, Jim. I hope so as well. But then the question comes in again: if they're not looking at your items, are they looking at my items with the item specifics filled in and buying those items for me? And what happens if I don't have a bonsai magazine which you have up?
Right.
Are they just not buying a bonsai magazine? Are they buying something different?
Right. My one of a kind bonsai magazine that's only on eBay should be the first one, anyways. So it should sell if that's the case.
Yeah. So
maybe if I'm competing, I'm lower. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I will be no fun money. We'd rather not working 95. I'll be talking to you, Popeyes, in 92 weeks, 2 days, or hopefully. Because again, I'm getting real close on that over there. Would you say Amazon is stable in sales in comparison?
For what I'm selling, I've been doing well with it. We've been putting way more items on. And what's crazy is eBay was always my bread and butter magazines, whether it was adult or non-adult. We always sold a ton of magazines. Our magazines are dipping out, and we're actually selling more magazines on Amazon daily than we are on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah. So, say we average 60, 70 eBay magazines a day before this, the dipping's going on. Now we're at 30, 35, 40, and our Amazon's like 40, 45, 50.
Well, and I'm going to give some actual numbers over here. I was selling a year ago this time 14 to 18 items a day on eBay. Now I'm selling 6 a day. That's a
brutal
bit of a drop. Now, granted, my average ticket has gone up. I've sold off a lot of the lower priced items, and I'm
Yeah, but you don't want to put common stuff on eBay right now. What's the point?
Well, but that was the question though. Is that might be the way to go now? Amazon's okay, but it's very cheap items. So that's the question: is if you've got a lot of cheap items, and that's what I believe was it Michael in the chat or somebody in the chat earlier on had mentioned they're selling a lot of items, but they're selling lower priced items, $8 to $20. So that's the question: is do you want to pull that stuff out of your death pile and get it listed? Because that's actually seems to be what's selling right now.
More affordability price range for people right now. With the gas as high as it is, they're not going to spend 50, but they might spend 10 to 20.
Oh, don't get me started on their advertising. All they're doing is pushing the motors. But here's my fear for the long term or the moderate term. If you put things on and you take, because again, I had mentioned my sales could be okay if I was willing to take 40% offers.
Right.
And maybe at some point that's what I have to do, or people out there have to do, because again, we all got bills, we all have needs. 40% offers, or you're doing a 25% sale or a 30% sale and taking offers on top of that. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get your bills paid. But what's that going to do long term to the market? Because A, you're training these buyers
to expect less than 25, 30, 40%.
Oh, Papergoy takes 40%.
Right.
So it cheapens my brand.
Yeah.
And I had written down that Tiffany's doesn't have a 99-cent department. There's no 99-cent department at Tiffany's. They're Tiffany's.
There might even not be a $99 department either.
Probably not. Yeah. They're Tiffany's.
Right.
And how many brands have ruined themselves by being a high-end brand?
Right.
And they get cheapened because they end up at Marshall's. Nothing against Marshall's, but they end up being sold at Marshall's, and now people are like, well, I can buy that at Marshall's. I don't want that purse.
Well, even Kohl's, they mark everything up, but then they have so many discounts, coupons, this and that, and you can get it for half price. Yeah.
Well, Laurie, they probably are, though. I'm on that. But, and many brands have ruined themselves because they were supposed to be luxury brands, and then they went for the sales, and then they weren't luxury brands.
Yeah.
So if I want to build Papergoy as being this good site with good items, I can't be selling $4 items on there. I just can't, because that cheapens the brand. Now, I might have something I sell for $4 that I listed 12 years ago.
Right.
Different story, but I'm not doing that with anything new.
Yeah.
Maybe the solution in that case is you open up a second store, or have a second store.
Again, I called. Remember, you still have to, no matter what you do, you have to start with that 5 listings a month or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm selling 5 $4 Newsweeks. Cha-ching! That's $20 a week extra, or $20 a month extra. Know your lane. I guess that's the other thing on that. But the other thing that ends up happening as well is you sell cheaply a lot of this kind of magazine tanks the market potentially for the next year because of Terapeak. Because other people get on there and they look it up and they go,
"That's true.
These magazines only go for $8. I'm not paying $35 because they sell for $8 on Terapeak."
Well, and they could see 12 months ago they were 30, 10 months ago they were 25, 6 months ago they were 15. Currently they're 8, so wow, that's trending to cheapness.
Trending down, and that might be the case too, where people dump them at that point. Oh my gosh, I'm going to sell mine for $5. I got to get out of them because I got to sell them now.
Right, and now you're buying them for less. Where you used to pay $5, now you're going to pay $2 for them.
On my end, as a buyer, but you have to stay on top of the trends, because if I go out to a flea market and I go, I sold these things all day long at $30, and now I'm paying $5, and the market's only selling 8 at this point, only supporting 8 at this point. So that might be part of survival mode too, is staying right on top of all of the changes that are going on.
Right.
Because otherwise you're going to end up overpaying for stuff, because in your head, I mean, we did in the show, one of the shows that we taped before we came here live, we were talking about, and you can really quickly tell people what's going on with the PSA 10 Michael Jordans.
Oh, they were 100,000 a few years ago before COVID. During COVID at the peak, they were $500,000 to $1 million in some of the big auction houses, and now they're back down to 80, 100,000. So, and they're out there, they're plentiful. But imagine buying that at $500,000.
Yeah, or if you bought it,
even if you're a millionaire, you're still taking a big hit.
Or you bought it at 125 on the way up, and you said, "I'm going to make tons of money," and you held on to it, and now it's back at 80.
Yeah. The 9s were 50,000. Now I think they're 20,000. The 7s were 20,000. Now they're 6,000. So.
Do we know anybody that owns an 8 that should have sold it?
I told that person to sell it for 25. Yeah.
Actually, you told them to sell it for 30. But that's a whole other story. But they're stubborn and never even looked for it. Yeah.
I sold it for 500 to the person who sold it to you, probably. So look at me.
And you reinvested that $500 many times over. And now you could pay $100,000 for one. Yeah. We got a couple other comments, and we'll get into the rambling story of the week after this.
eBay's tailoring an algorithm to sellers provide a good customer experience to the buyer. Could be. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're saying that that's going to be a lot more important if you don't list daily. Yep, and that's one reason why, John. Even when I went away, I scheduled auctions to show up. Again, and it costs 15 cents or whatever it costs to do the schedule. But I definitely do that. I find that that's really important to do, because it keeps things showing up there every single day.
Absolutely.
Do all the listings daily, send offers, ship daily, cannot figure it out. Yeah. Jeez. Overall business of the shop has been better than eBay. Whoa. Better at retail.
Wow.
That's...
yeah, that's shocking to me.
Wow. Yeah, because you don't... What's your retail?
Close your eyes. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm in the dark. I usually am on most of our topics.
Exactly.
One problem I see over and over with US eBay sellers, it does not cost $35 to ship Canada over and over. Yes, but a lot of sellers will use the calculated shipping. And you definitely, on international, you definitely do want to use calculated shipping.
Sure,
because those prices go up crazy high, and it can cost an awful lot of money on that. It's crazy how much it costs to ship something or other to Canada or overseas, for that matter.
How do they ship that comic that's lost out there, that $500 comic?
Not properly. Oh.
No, like, which method?
500.
Was it going priority, maybe?
Probably had to go priority,
so
I'm sure.
Not covered, like, if it was eBay shipping.
Oh, you probably use standard, though. You probably use standard international for that, yeah.
We'll have to look into that Monday.
Wow. But, Panic over the having spending cash. Yeah, I
Well,
definitely.
my
do
spending
think
cash is lower because my sales are lower, and my employees want more money. But that's another story. But again, when these collections come in, I don't have the cash that I normally have, so I've been borrowing money from friends, and just if it's worthy of it, if it's worthy. So I don't have to pay someone back.
every once in a while you throw me a wrinkled 1958 comment and go, "Here's your interest."
Exactly.
Wait, somebody really is an idiot. just letting you know, somebody really is an idiot. We're gonna head on in. Keep those comments coming. Definitely do appreciate it because we hit the comments always one last time on our way out. But we're gonna hit the rambling story of the week. I have one, unless you have one.
Nothing in my basement front right now, but a couple weeks maybe we'll be done with it. So we'll see.
So we talked last week about your Frankenstein shoes in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So I also made the mistake of going to New York City with Mysterious Benefactor wearing new shoes. And so I flew from Rochester over to New York City, and these shoes started rubbing against the back of my foot to the point that I actually was bleeding out of the back of my foot.
You wearing socks?
Yeah.
Thin
But I
socks.
was wearing dress socks. So I was actually bleeding out of the back of my, well, it was the bloody sock. I was trying to be a hero.
Okay.
So I was bleeding out of the back of my foot, and you know me, and we have a video coming up about know yourself, and I know myself. I tend to get very, very stressed about things at times, especially when traveling. And let's say that my flight is leaving at 10 o'clock in the morning. I want to be on the way to the airport at 8 to 8:30. I want to be there. I want to be, probably we'll leave at 8, get there at 8:20. I want to get through just in case there's any problems on all sides, in case there's a long line, in case there's a traffic jam, and so on. So I go to New York City with Mysterious Benefactor, meet him there because we're flying out. Got the bloody foot, and we've got about a 3-hour layover for our flight.
Fun.
So I'm like, look, I got to find Band-Aids. He goes, all right, we're going to take the subway into Queens. And we're going to have dinner.
I think I did that one time when you were so nervous about coming back to the plane, because it's a nightmare.
Exactly. So here, because you have to recheck back in and everything.
He didn't care.
No!
Cool was the other side of the pillow. No stress.
Oh my God! Meanwhile, so I'm going into a Dwayne Reed. Well, those were still around and still had product on the shelf. So I buy a Band-Aid. So I'm standing in the middle of New York City, taking my shoes and socks off. Thinking it was New York City. Nobody paid any attention to me.
Yeah.
Bandaging up my foot.
People throw money at you.
He paid for my trip. It was great. So then we go out to eat, and he's like, "Oh, we got an appetizer. We'll do this." Meanwhile, I'm watching my thing, going, "We got 2 hours and 15 minutes to get back. What if there's a
Subway
long
line at the airport?
Get back on the flight." And oh my goodness gracious! Two lessons to that story. Number one, do not wear new shoes before you travel. Second lesson, do not travel with Mysterious Benefactor, because he will go and you're like, "Oh, we can do this and we can do this." Meanwhile, my heart is palpitating.
Yeah, that happened with me and you one time with him as well. I remember.
And you and I are so nervous about the whole thing. Yeah. It's crazy. Alrighty, thanks everybody. Take a quick run through and see everybody's last comments on it. It was a really
Winter Crow
fun
has
show.
something important to say. If you want to rattle that off.
What did it say? You clicked off of it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, all right. Show that like button some love. Thank you. I definitely do appreciate that. Oh, go ahead.
Oof.
Welcome, Mark.
I don't list, but I give my employees things that I know they can list and that are worth listing, and anything that's common or low grade or something that's more complicated, I set it aside for a later date.
See, and this
Hence
is
the death pile.
Well, this is funny because Mark, Mr. Magazine and I have completely different views on this. If 1,000 items, well, not 1,000 because I probably wouldn't buy a collection that large, but if 100 items were to come in, Mr. Magazine tends to take the best 10 and give them to the employees to list, and might give them some of the common stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to take the 90 less good items to list. What's your thought process?
Well, lately I've been doing it a little differently with the new listers. I give them easy things that I don't have to prep. I don't have to put Post-its on and waste my time. I'm too busy right now to do that for 10 employees. So I give them comics or magazines, easy stuff that, here, take it, you can list it, no problem. $15 a piece, whatever, blah, 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 blah. If it's more complicated, then I will go through and say, hey, these are too complicated. These are autograph programs. Let's set it aside. This is $20 to $50 magazines. I got a veteran lister. He's going to do them, and so forth. So I do separate them. Anything that's common, we have it on there. Low grade, or difficult, we do set it aside. So that's my philosophy.
See,
on it.
yeah, you always tried to get your money back out of the 10 best items.
No.
And I always try to get my money back out of the 90 worst items.
Right.
The problem with my way of doing it is I never get around to the 10 best because another collection has come in. So somewhere,
Well, lately I'm the same way. They're so big, these collections, they're all getting stored. We're not listing anything for the new collections.
I would say, somewhere I've got boxes of really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. The cream of the cream of collection after collection.
Yeah.
I just don't know where it is at this point. Well, I do know it's somewhere.
Yeah.
But hopefully that helps you a little bit over
What
there.
makes it best? If we've never seen a magazine before, it's pretty good, probably.
Generally speaking, but also having done this for years, let's say that I had a pile of, or say you had a pile of, 50 sports cards, you're going to take the 10 stars and list those.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the 40 commons and list those. We both get our money out of them.
Right.
It's just a whole different way of doing it.
Especially if I'm spending $10,000 on a collection, and I can get $5,000 back on
Top 3 cards.
5% of the stuff. I have to do that because guess what? 2 days from now, I need another $5,000 for another collection. So if I listed the cheapest stuff every time, I'd probably be out of money and borrow more money from Papergoy then. So.
Thank you very much. And my to-do list is hit the like button and wear a tie next week. I'm just looking like a mess this week. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We went a little long. Do apologize, but it was a lot of fun. Had a really, really good show this week.
Yeah,
Really good
I was
show.
worried I was going to fall asleep. I was going to take an energy shot on top of the energy shot, and I didn't have to. I'm good to go.
So, and do check out Whatnot Thursday at 4 o'clock. That would be tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Papergoy, check it out. Just stop by, give me a little moral support. Watch the flop sweat. It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.